What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We're going to be diving into a knife that I was surprised by after the unboxing. Getting some time with it and looking into a little bit more, I've really come to love this knife. So let's head to the top down and you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so we have the Invictus blades, otherwise known as Mini Katana folding knife, and this is going to be the Mini Katana Z1 folding knife. So there are two variations of this knife. There is the red shred carbon fiber and there is the black shred carbon fiber. This one is the red shred with a little bit of the red in there as well. Initially when I got this knife, if you watch the unboxing video, I wasn't that kind of sold on it. Primarily because of where I thought and felt the pricing was going to be on this. After looking into this knife, having it, fidgeting with it a little bit more, I've actually come to really appreciate this knife and think they've done something pretty amazing with it as well. So we'll start with tip to tail measurements, we'll do some side-by-side comparisons, and then we'll move on to my thoughts and feelings from the initial review onto what I feel now. So we've got a 7.5-inch blade from tip to tail. We're looking just about 3.25 if you come down to the edge here for the blade, but the cutting edge we're looking at about 3.15 right there on the cutting edge. You do have an M390 steel on the blade right here, branded so big and beautifully right there on the back side, and this is going to be a titanium button lock knife right there. We'll do some side-by-side comparisons. We'll go ahead and get started with one of my all-time favorite American-made knives, the Hogue Deca up top. We'll go ahead and do the CDC Chicago down below. Then we'll go ahead and grab the NAFS Lander 2 up top as well. We'll do a Kaiser Veritas down below. Go ahead and grab the Snex Wii Vision R up top. And we'll finish it off with a button lock Civivi Elementum down below. Give you some sweet side-by-side comparisons there to look to and see if you've got any of those in your collection. You can have a good idea of what the size is going to be holding this in hand, or just good comparisons there. So with this button lock, initially I was kind of not sold on how great this button lock was. I had a little bit of button stick when I was initially messing with it in the unboxing. I haven't had that since, and I've actually really enjoyed the button. Now, I was drawn to a lot of the extra milling and the detail that they did in this knife. They have some really nice milling along, I don't know if you want to call it a swedge, but along the top part of the blade there for a swedge that leads into the jimping up top, just kind of shaping the grind angle and of the blade as it comes through there, and giving you a little bit thinner spine at the top, as you can still have thickness coming through that blade as it comes off the edge up the top there, which was a really nice detail on the blade. Just adds a little bit more. But beyond that, in the actual scales themselves, you can see the little dashes coming through here, the little pointed crowned areas on the back side of the spine, as well as on the clip side, the mimicking the same through. You've got the speed holes through the clip here, and this is a milled titanium clip as well, I believe so. And then you just have some really nice kind of extra going into this with the way that they kind of milled out the edging or a frame around the carbon fiber there as well. So it's one thing that I thought was really well, and to round it all off, or to give you the little bit of extra, you can see the chamfering on the underside that you would anchor in there to give you a really good ergos through it. So there was definitely a lot of thought that went into the design aspect of this knife, and I think it's kind of definitely a show knife. It's not going to be a hard use EDC knife. You could hard use it, but we haven't had any sort of deployment issues there with the button lock. No little whack fails or anything like that. But it is so beautiful. I don't think I would want to mess this up or get it all kind of scuffed up. One thing I think they missed was they missed putting a backspacer in here. I think that would have added a little bit to just kind of the whole ambiance that this knife has for you. It would have a really nice backspacer coming up to that second pin there. Mill it to match with the crowning or the little points on the back side of the scales there, and I think you could have kind of a total banger through and through there. There are a couple different deployment methods. You do have the flipper tab right here that you could use, and then you've got the button that you could press and open up and then out as well. So you could do that either way. If you are so inclined, you may be able to. Nope, not on a button lock. So yeah, you've got just the flipper tab that you can use, or you can use the button to go in and out there, right there. So those are going to be your only options really for deployment, but they're absolutely fantastic. They're really nice. Now, initially when I saw M390 titanium shred carbon, I was thinking this knife was going to come in because a lot of companies tend to overprice M390 in my opinion. I was thinking this knife was going to be north of $250. Now, I just looked before this video, and you can get this knife right now for $115 on Mini Katana's website. I'm looking at the screen right over here. $114.99 on Mini Katana's website. You have M390 steel, titanium and carbon fiber, and the M390 is treated to a 62 HRC, which is pretty fantastic. So, I think with all of that said and done, keeping this so close to $100 is absolutely fantastic, and this is where companies should be pricing M390 knives in my opinion. Rather than taking M390 and M4 and saying, you know what, we're going to put it at $400, especially when it's a production knife, bringing a production knife much closer to the actual production value of what you would be purchasing, this is a fantastic buy. So it is not my necessarily favorite style, but I can appreciate it and really like the detail that they put into it and the design quality that went behind it. So for $115, I think that's a fantastic knife. There will be a link below, and so feel free to follow that link and check it out. There are two variations with the black shred carbon fiber and then the black with the red accents in there, as you can see in this one right here. So by all means, follow it, check it out. I don't have much else to say on this one. I think it's a fantastic knife, especially knowing that it's M390 and titanium for $115. You can't really beat that nowadays. So if this is your thing, go pick it up. If not, we'll catch you on the next video. TTFN.